If your Shopify developer or agency says this isn't possible on Shopify, we can't do this, that's impossible, there's all these platform or Shopify limitations, you're most likely being scammed. A lot of the time when agencies or developers say that, they either one, don't know how, or two, they don't really want to try. So ultimately, we run across a lot of different business owners, prospects, even our current clients telling us, hey, my existing Shopify developer and my Shopify agency said it wasn't possible. Well, that's likely because they probably do not know how to navigate in such a complex system as Shopify and haven't really learned how to manipulate platforms and work with other integrations or third-party apps or even build their own app to actually make something a possibility. So in this video, I'm going to be covering over one of the most common sort of scams to avoid, or basically try to make sure that you avoid these sorts of approaches, or your agency or developer tells you something, whether you should really believe that or not. The first one is, we have this disappearing developer, we call it, or disappearing agency. And that is basically, you plan out the scope, you plan out the project, everything's going great, and we're gonna build out the website, blah, 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 whatever the story is. And we get contacted a lot where it's like, hey, my developer agency is totally missing now. So you kind of need to actually judge their character actually on this one, because in every single project that I've been a part of, there's always a point in the project where it's like, uh-oh, this is getting dicey. This wasn't really discussed. We didn't really expect this. And you kind of have to understand the mindset of your developer or your agency partner and what they're going to actually do when things get kind of tough. Are they going to sit there and work and partner with you and work through it and figure things out? Or are they just going to completely disappear on you? Because a lot of the time, if they don't have the right mindset and you haven't checked them on it, they'll just be completely MIA. We take on a lot of projects and clients where this is the case. Moving on, the second scam that we like to talk about is retainers with no ROI, or no return on investment. So retainers are typically, we actually like retainers in our model, and it's because, hey, you have a website, it needs maintenance, it needs things. But I've heard of a lot of other companies saying, yeah, I had this retainer with my Shopify agency or developer, and I can never get a hold of them, or I don't really know what I'm getting for that, right? So that's actually a primary issue, is like, yeah, I'll do this, I'll put it on a retainer and just contact me when you need me, right? And it's like, that's not really a good way to run a retainer. We've had business owners come to us and say, I feel like we're not getting much, but we're being charged a lot of money per month. And so ultimately, what needs to be done on a Shopify retainer for it to be successful is to basically say, this is the retainer amount, these are all my goals and objectives for the rest of the year, and this is ultimately what I'd like to do. Our response typically is, okay, thank you for telling this. Understand your timelines, understand everything you're looking to accomplish. Month 1, we can do the migration. Month 2, we can build out the portal. And month 3, we can take it live and do the rest of the enhancements from what we built so far. It needs to be an outcome-driven sort of thing on a month-to-month basis that you're kind of holding each other accountable. Hey, you said you would do X. Is it done? No, it's not done yet, right? In our case, yes, it's done. Here it is. But yes, that's something that you should definitely avoid unless the developer or agency is going to actually give you those reports and give you the deliverables and actually attach outcomes to a given month. It's something that actually we've been learning a lot about, because we've run a lot of different retainers with many, many different clients, and we've learned a lot along the way that, hey, we need to tie some deliverables. We need to hold ourselves accountable. We need to hold the client accountable. This is the goal for the month. Let's get that done, right? So don't do any sort of retainers where it's like, oh yeah, we'll do some SEO and speed upgrades or something like this. It's like, cool. But again, and that's actually not bad if they actually provide, hey, this is what your speed was in the beginning. This is what it is now. This is where you were ranking before. This is where you're ranking now, and actually holding themselves accountable to some sort of outcome, some sort of deliverable, right, at the end of the month. Another thing we've heard through other agencies is, hey, I have this great relationship with this person, but I work with this agency, but to get any answers on anything, it takes 24 to 48 hours because the person I'm talking to is not really the developer. They're not very technical. They don't understand Shopify. They're just kind of a liaison, right? You need to kind of judge who you're working with and saying, okay, wait, is this an offshore team? Is it onshore? How does that communication model work? Am I going to be able to get answers on a phone call, or am I going to be told, oh yeah, give me 24 hours and I got to talk to my development team tonight at 11 p.m. In our model specifically, we basically making sure that whoever's on the account actually can work the account, understand Shopify. And even if we have, let's say, one of our project coordinators on it, they'll reach out to me. They'll reach out to somebody else in leadership and say, hey, this is the issue. We can give them guidance and advice in a relatively quick time period, right? You're not going to be waiting days to get a response and try to figure out if the thing you want to do is actually technically possible, or how it can be done, how much it's going to cost. That communication breakdown doesn't occur because we basically have onshore people that understand Shopify Shopify, where a lot of agency owners and agency contacts through businesses that we've worked with and talked to, they said, hey, like they don't even know, right? And it's like, oh, that's bad. The other thing, again, kind of goes along with that is that, the responsiveness, the responsiveness of an agency. It's like, hey, I sent you that message 3. I am a big stickler on this. This is definitely a pet peeve of mine. If someone sent us an email 3 days ago, it's a problem if we have not responded. At least say, yes, we got the email, we're looking into it. And a lot of other agencies, it's like, hey, it's going to take us 7 days, 7 to 10 business days if you send us a request. It's going to take us 5 business days. We try to squash that. We try to basically deliver things within a business day or 2 and basically have the right team and the right people involved on a project and have people assigned to it so it can be supported. So be careful of like, like our turnaround time is 3 to 5 business days. In reality, it's more like 6 to 8, if not 8 to 10. So just kind of be careful of like, hey, we can't turn around anything within 24 hours. If you want a good agency, they should be able to turn around like pretty quickly, and they should be dedicated towards you, right? Because especially if you're on a retainer or you have a timeline to meet, like things need to move, right? This is, again, a pet peeve of mine. I'm like, why aren't things progressing? Come on, guys. So anyway, that's a little pet peeve of mine. And the other thing you might run up against is that, you're being overcharged, right? It's like, yeah, okay, I'm getting value. I'm getting a new website. I'm getting this design. I'm getting this new build out on my Shopify store, but gosh, why does it cost me an arm and a leg? This is something that you need to be careful of. Just understand market value for things and what they cost. This is something we do ourselves internally. I look at things on a regular basis and say like, hey, that seems like way too much for something like that. Are we sure that's right? And I even actually have taken it down. It's like, hey, we have certain margins we'd like to hit, right? Internally, externally. And it's like, that seems like a way too expensive. And it's okay if we don't make as much as we do typically on a project like this. That's okay, because I don't think it's fair to the client, right? So you definitely want someone that's in your corner, that has your best interest in mind and is kind of looking out for you, right? It's like a lot of agencies like, sorry, this is the bill, too bad. And it's like, that's not really someone you want to work with, because again, things are a little bit more nuanced. They're a little bit more, it's less of, oh, this is just what we charge, sorry. It's more of like, oh, we understand, we hear what you're saying. And sometimes, yeah, we say, okay, that's just actually what it costs. And other times we're like, you know what, we get your point, and like, we'll handle it, right? We'll take care of it, whether that's a credit or just not charging as much for that given project. That is what it is. You won't get a lot of people that do that. That's for damn sure. So be careful of that, where you want to make sure if like nuanced things come up, things that are out of scope, things that we didn't really talk about, and like making sure that like you're not getting too big of a like a change order, we call it, which is like, hey, you said this project's going to cost $5,000. This new scope, you're saying it's $3,000. Wow, okay, we're spending almost double now. I did not know that. And it does happen. It's not to say it does not happen, but ultimately we try to be careful about incremental scope. Hey, we can do it, but it's going to be this, or like, okay, yeah, we can throw that in for another like $250, right? Basically, the bottom line is you need to kind of vet the person you're working with and kind of vet the agency in these different areas that I'm talking about. What's your response time? Am I going to be working with an expert or not, like directly or not? Is it, I have to go through somebody else and then get answers? I think, how do you do the billing? How does all that work, right? How does that play out exactly if I were to hire you? A lot of people come to us, and I've actually even had this response too, is like, we don't work with agencies. And I'm like, gosh, that is so sad. Like, we have definitely done the market a disservice here, right? We have not done our job as agencies. And like, I feel like my goal, my vision is to basically set the stage correctly and basically make it so that agencies are effective, are efficient, not taking advantage of people, and making sure that they're getting value for the money they give us, and that they say, yeah, okay, that actually was worth $5,000 to us. That was worth $3,000. Sometimes it's like a mindset thing on the business, right? Which is like, oh, if I give them 5, which seems like a lot, oh my gosh, it's a lot. But it's like, wait, but we can make so much more money. Like, we can increase our conversion rate, our user experience. We can create this portal. We can have this membership add-on, all these different things I think about. Because it's like, expensive is kind of relative, right? It's like, yeah, okay, you could get it done for 3, but we charge 5. It's all about quality at the end of the day. And like, in terms of a website, it's like that quality actually impacts your customer. It impacts the person that you're looking to, please the most, which is like the customers that are coming to your website or your visitors. Anyway, I digress. I think these are like 5 things you need to be on the lookout for. These are definitely very common scams, things we've heard of, things we've worked with clients on, and ultimately we're trying to avoid as a company altogether. Again, we're not not perfect, just like anybody else, but ultimately we're aware of all these things and we're like, we're not going to be like that because that's not how we're going to be as a company. Otherwise, why do we exist, right? If we're not trying to make things better and make the world a better place and provide a better service, ultimately why is DexTech still around? So anyway, guys, appreciate you. Thank you so much for listening in today. My name is Luke Tull. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of DexTech. If you ever need help with the Shopify problems, just let me know. This is not a sales pitch. If you don't contact us. But yeah, just want to let you guys know that like we're here for you guys if you need us. We definitely like sell like smaller packages and things of that nature. And ultimately, I am sure there's a video or two somewhere around here or over there that you can watch. Appreciate you and hope you all have a good rest of your day, evening, etc. All right, bye-bye now.